Wow. Okay. So it's Friday night, and Super Gareth Southgate has just lost to. He's done what his predecessor has done from Roy Hodgson. Obviously, Southgate was the man that replaced him. What do they both have in common? Not only have they both won absolutely fuck all, but they've also now both lost to Iceland. Fantastic job. And this is the crazy thing. We're getting all of this managerial indecision. Oh, INEOS don't know what to do. The decision is getting closer. So they're favouring in sacking him. They're favouring in keeping him. One thing, under no circumstances, that even someone with half of a brain cell should even be considering in that group is Southgate being the answer. Bloody believable. A manager goes losing to Iceland, right? And it's probably the biggest reason. Nah, scratch that. It's not probably. He is the biggest reason why England haven't won a trophy yet. He is the biggest reason. He's probably, funnily enough, one of the only reasons why England have failed to win an international tournament. That guy, yeah, who is the fault bearer, that guy is who INEOS want. Are you sure about that? Are you goddamn sure about that? Absolute full of shite, I tell you. FFP, Fuzz for President. I can. That's something I can get behind, Stephanie. Of course, don't make me do all the paperwork because I get bored very quickly, and then I'll think, what would be really fun is if I press the big red nuke button, and kickstart World War III, and then pressing buttons for fun will very quickly turn into absolute worldwide anguish and suffering. So probably, whilst I like the idea in principle, maybe not so much actually doing it, but I appreciate the thought. So thank you for that, Stephanie. But good to see you as always. 90 more subs to get gets young man to 200 subs. 100%. Let's do it. 19 subs away from 200, from a big 200. If we can do that across the summer, that will be fantastic. So do be sure to get subbing, people. Get subbing. This button's down there. It's just down. No, is it down there? It's down there on your page. I don't have it on mine. I can't sub to myself. I can't bot my own numbers. It's a shame. I can't bot my own numbers. So that sucks. But it is what it is. I can't be a fan of myself. I'm not. You're not allowed to be a fan of your own work on YouTube. You're not allowed to. It's like the forbidden fruit. But yes, if we do hit 200, that'll be a fantastic achievement, and it'll be a big thank yous to everybody in the community. Homer Simpson impersonation. That'll be true. Maybe sort out the hair, then I will probably be very much. Well, actually, I do need to sort of grow this out a bit as well. Grow that out a bit, and we might be there. We might be there. Need to sort this whatever this is out. The bum fluff, as some people might call it. Need to sort that out first before we really go anywhere. But yeah. So, indecision with the manager. Yet again, we were told that decision should not go beyond the end of this week, is what we were told. That was the original tagline. And it looks like, whilst some are saying we're getting close, others not really saying anything on the matter. Maybe they're just holding their breath. But one thing that is becoming ever more apparent is that I don't really think INEOS know what they're doing. Like, I genuinely think everything in the instructions manual on how to run a football club, everything else is written in English. The other thing is written in Mongolian. When it comes to the manager, the instructions manual only reads in Mongolian. You're looking at these random symbols and you're confused. Well, actually, better yet, it's written hieroglyphics. You're looking at pictures. You're trying to form words from pictures. And it's like, what am I doing here? You know those pictures where you've seen the likes of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho sat behind the Carrington manager's desk, and the meme tagline underneath it says, "I don't know what I'm doing." It's like that. It really, really is. This time it's just Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford and Jean-Claude Blanc and whoever else that is currently on the INEOS train. Nobody knows what to do with the manager. Nobody knows. Now, the fan base have already made up their minds. Most of them are still wanting Ten Hag in. The others want him out. And it's just really frustrating that the people that we're meant to trust, and the thing is, it's like if they were making decisions, good decisions or bad decisions, any which way you look at it, it's still better than no decisions. And that's where we're drawing the line with where my patience sits with this INEOS project, because we're going from having this group coming in preaching all of these ideas and preaching a way that they want to run the club that sounds too good to be true. Maybe it is just that it is the case that it's too good to be true. The same INEOS group, I've heard news stories today talking about them wanting to sell Nice to put all of their eggs into one basket. I mean, I doubt that would be true in and of itself. I don't understand why anybody would want to just decide, you know what, we're going to drop that project in France. We're going to just say goodbye to the multi-club network and focus on, not even a 100% ownership of Man United. To be honest, I wouldn't understand the thinking behind that. And if that's what INEOS are deciding to do, then why have they got such a massive project that they've just taken the helm of at one club? But you know what, guys, we're just going to start looking over here now. Oh, look at the pretty flowers. Look at all the beautiful colours. Oh, look at that. Hold on. What about this plot over here? The one that needs work, the one you promised to work on, the one that is literally dying before your very eyes, and if you don't start working on it now, it will die forever. Why not do that? That sounds like a smart idea. But are these people really smart? Like, why are they concerned about Nice? Well, is Man United not important anymore? Yeah, guys, let's sell Nice. We've really got to focus on Man United right now. Guys, we haven't even decided what to do with a manager, but hey, let's go sell our other club. let's go do that. No, let's not do that. Let's actually make decisions, put Manchester United into a stable place, and then spend the part of the season where the manager's focusing on doing his thing with his players, with his squad. Then you can sell your club. Then you can put your attention and focus over there. Not when you're on the eve. Practically, it's not even the eve anymore. We're actually there. We are actually there, people. INEOS should be doing work towards building Manchester United's future. And guess what it is that they're not doing right now? They're not building anything. I tell a lie. They're building a gingerbread house. on a pool of lava. That's what it is at the moment. So it is not. It's not good at all. At this rate, Ten Hag will walk away from it, Manchester divided. We really need a new manager. And you know who will come to be the knight in shining armour? Southgate. Because fuck knows why anybody on planet Earth with half a brain cell would think that guy being the manager of a massive football club is a good idea. He can't fucking manage a golden generation of a national team that's carrying him. They can't get him, with their quality, they can't get him over the line. They can't get him to coach them over the line. How bad does a manager have to be where the quality that can be better than most countries, if not all countries on the planet, in terms of position by position, how is it possible for a manager to not achieve anything? Does anybody have the answer for that? How is it possible? How is it genuinely possible to be that bad at management, to fall flat on your face every time with a squad that's carried you, and you're the manager? You're the manager. Roy Hodgson with that team might have won a tournament. That's where we are. And Roy Hodgson lost to Iceland in a tournament. We've just lost to them tonight again. And how many attempts did we have? How many attempts? Oh, guys, have a look at this. One attempt that troubled the goalkeeper tonight. One shot troubled the goalkeeper. The mighty England that everybody is screaming and singing that it will be coming home. Yep, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, people. 13 attempts, 1 on target. 9 of them might as well, nine of those shots that were off target might as well have ended up landing in Iceland anyway. So, I mean, how read you this team? How read you the team that lost to Iceland? So Ramsdale was in goal. Okay. Yeah, he's a very decent goalkeeper. Can't fault that. Kieran Trippier at left back. Mark Gahey and John Stones as centre backs. Kyle Walker at right back. Fairly decent defence. Pretty decent defence. Declan Rice and Kobbie Mainoo midfield. It's the best midfield that we could probably go with. Anthony Gordon on the left. Cole Palmer on the right. Phil Foden in the middle. Mad amounts of trickery there. And huge amounts of technical quality. And a finisher in Harry Kane up top. Ladies and gentlemen, that team lost to Iceland tonight. That team lost to Iceland. I think, right, I don't know about you guys, I think we owe Roy Hodgson an apology. We do. I'm not joking. You might think I'm taking the piss. We actually owe Roy Hodgson an apology. He took a team that was absolute dog shit compared to that team that's just played tonight. At least he scored a goal. At least Roy Hodgson's finished, washed, shite England team. At least that still got a goal. God only fucking knows what we're doing here. Really. 3 likes. Good stuff, people. Keep them coming. Keep them hitting them likes as we go through. Big up Fuzzy. Big ups to Anthony Herbert. Anthony might be getting his wish eventually. with the Southgate appointment at Man United. That seems to be becoming ever more the case, and the closer we get to Gareth Southgate being named as as Man United manager, is closer. Is as the closer we get to that happening, the closer I get to saying INEOS out. The closer I say that INEOS can go fuck themselves, basically. And literally, that's all it would take. Just hire Gareth Southgate as a manager, because he's not a manager. Literally, the Glazer family were hiring bankers to run a football club. That was shocking decision making. You're hiring a fucking politician, a guy that probably makes out with fucking Rishi Sunak in 10 Downing Street. That's your guy that's going to take over the club's coaching department. Are you sure about that? Are you fucking with us right now? Like, are you actually alive? Like, is your brain working? Or is it just dead? Is it flatlined? Do they plug you into the machines at a hospital and just goes, like, are you actually just dead? Because that's where we are right now. Yes, Anthony Legend, 100%. Southgate is a politician, and we don't rate them either. Well, general elections are coming up. Do you reckon that there is actually a box to vote for Southgate? Actually, fuck that now. Don't want to vote for Southgate. You know, he's great at fucking up teams. He'd be fantastic at fucking up a country. Tenfold. Rishi Sunak is fucking shit. Don't get me wrong. Most of the politicians are really shit. It's a Finnish country, let's be real. But Southgate would literally just end it. Literally, the second that Southgate would be announced as the new prime minister of England, of the UK, you'd start everyone just collectively across the country would just hear this. Do, 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 do. EastEnders theme starts playing. We're finished. It'd be over. The curtain call has begun. The curtain's coming down. The country will be finished. And I will be on the first plane out of here. 4 likes, good stuff. We're getting them likes pumped up. Things we like to see, people. Things we like to see. And yes, big ups to everybody that is hitting the likes. But yeah, it's just like, just the news with linking Southgate to the job is, you know, it's vexing enough. It is vexing enough on its own. To see that Southgate's practically doing a horrendous job, all the while he's being linked to a massive job, is absolutely beyond embarrassing. Beyond embarrassing. There's talks about, you know, internal talks about Thomas Tuchel this week. We've got somebody else saying that concrete steps have been made towards De Zerbi, but it's tabloid media. No one's collectively saying the same thing and running with it. But the lowdown of this is that people are saying, well, no, Southgate is still very much held in high esteem with INEOS. And the thing is allow me to paint the picture of what this would actually mean for Man United. So as we know, Southgate being the England manager, it's not about Southgate winning anything, right? He's not there. He's not in the England job to win anything. Regardless of what anyone thinks, it's not his job to win tournaments. It's not, because that's just the English national team job. Managing the national team. You're not meant to win anything. If you win something, then hell, you get a huge bonus. You'll get a lifetime contract. You know, people, you'll have a song immortalized. But you're not there to win. You're not there to upkeep standards. You're not there, to make the most of footballing talent and brilliance, bringing through a generation and showcasing it on the world stage. That's not what they're there to do. You're there to just get all the masses in the country feeling giddy and sing a song, and that's it. You've ticked all the boxes. Under previous management, it was toxic. People just, they just didn't care. But Southgate made them care, so that's all that matters. He made them care. He's brought smiles to everyone's faces. Oh, the smiles, the grins. Everybody's just they're in love with the guy. It's like there's only two loves like this in football. Top Gooners and an Arteta, right? Love story. And then there's England fans that don't really even like football when the season's on, seem to come out of the fucking woodworks when there's an international tournament, and all of a sudden they're way more passionate about football than anybody else. What? Like, where do these people come from? You hate football when it's during the season, but when it's good old Southgate in England playing, oh hey, I said that I really hate football, right? No, I was just joking. I absolutely love it. Well, what happens, right, is when the tournament's all said and done and England get knocked out to a bunch of farmers, right? Like, seriously, if you want England, right, to be guaranteed a loss in a key stage of a tournament, stick them in the semi-finals, right? Kick anybody else out that's in the seedings for that semi-finals, and just stick San Marino in there. Just stick San Marino in there. We'll find a way to fuck it up. Guaranteed, we'll find a way to cock it up. But that's just it. In the words of Jose Mourinho, football heritage. Football heritage. It's heritage. This English national team. Fantastic players. Brilliance in various positions right the way throughout the squad. But never the guy. Never. You're not allowed to. Never. If England ever appoint a solid manager, it would be the end of time, right? It's a glitch in the matrix. We'd crack a hole in the side of the universe or something. Like it's just not meant to be. The FA is run by idiots. It's run by idiots. So Southgate, as shit as a manager as he is, he'll get sacked. He won't get sacked. He'll walk away from the England job because God only knows that England would ever get rid of their hype man, the waistcoat wearing hype man. For INEOS to then turn around and say, hey, you know what would be a great idea is you coming into this club. He walks into Manchester United. Manchester United will be relegated in the next 5 years. Why not? Why wouldn't it happen? Get relegated in the next 5 years. I mean, he's got high pressure games. We know that Gareth Southgate cannot fathom high pressure games. He just can't. He cannot fathom high pressure games. Guess what every game in the Premier League is? Cheers, guys. Guess what every cup game is? Guess what every European fixture game is? Curtain calls. Absolute curtain calls. If that guy is ever our manager, right, he will take us to a place we will never come back from. You can wave as many magically growing INEOS wands that you want, as many of those as you want. He will kill this club. He will kill it. He will kill it dead. And INEOS will let it happen because he's their guy. He'd be their guy. Alternatively, they have a chance to prove us wrong. They have a chance to pull somebody else into the job if they are to choose to sack Ten Hag. Bring somebody else in that actually makes sense. The level is thereabouts complementary or complementative, and they can actually do a job where we keep our heads above water. Maybe win a trophy on the side, trophy or two, before inevitably end up with the next manager after that. But we are sailing down a very dangerous, very, very dangerous river. And we can see the waterfall coming up ahead. And we're screaming as the passengers on this vessel, we're screaming to the captain, there's a waterfall ahead. Guess where you're going? And the captain's like, I know, I can see the waterfall. So you're going to stop the boat? You're going to stop the ship? Ha, no. We're going to go straight over the edge. Why would I keep us all alive? That's the saying, captain goes down with the ship. Well, guess what? As the old captain, I'm going to bring everybody else down with me. We win together, we lose together. We eat together, we die together. I'm not signed up for that. I am not signed up for that. So, yeah, I'm just not. Don't know what everybody else feels about it. Maybe I'm just being negative Nancy. Maybe this negative Nancy hasn't seen the light. Maybe this negative Nancy hasn't spoken or read the gospel of truth. I don't know. Well, at least with this I do know. At least with this I do. And the thing is I hope that everybody in this fan base out there is collectively unified for once in this club's history since the days of Newton Heath, since the days of the Busby Babes and the Munich tragedy, that this club will actually be fucking united on something. And that's doing what's best for this club. No ego trips, no stroking your own, to get off to influence and having your truth be the one that sits above everybody else. How about collectively everybody does what's best for this club? Collectively, a united front. How about that? It would be a first. It will be a welcome change. And it will actually feel like there is some pride for this fan base to supporting this club again. Because the amount of people that have walked away are the same people that have looked at where this club is going and ultimately decided, what is this? What has my club become? And it's not just with Man United as well. Fans from many other clubs as well that looked at what's going on at their clubs and thought, I can't just start supporting somebody else. But the way in which the club has been run has killed my passion for football. It's killed my want to support that team. And so those fans have walked away. Those fans have given up on football entirely. And there'll be people out there that will sit there saying, oh, you're not a real fan. If you stop supporting your team, you're not a real fan. The thing is, right, is when somebody accepts shit, right, you don't swallow your pride and eat so much of it until you can't taste it, right? You just don't. You don't tolerate that. So when shit really hits the fan and you're just sat there getting blasted, you don't accept it. You act on your impulse, right? And usually that impulse in football is passion. And what is that passion? What does that passion do? Is it passion to support the team? Is it passion to just love football? Is it passion to, to enjoy speaking about it? Is it passion to, observe, deep dive, analyze it? Is it passion to go to every home game, away game? Go with the ultras of your respective clubs. The die-hard faithful. Is that the passion? In football, there's passion right the way throughout, but passion is acting on emotion. And if emotion is what's being drained out of your life because of what that club is doing, I don't sit here and say, well, that fan that stopped supporting that club because that club killed his passion. I can't sit here and say, well, that guy's just not a real fan. He's not a real fan. Like fake fan. And, I'm going to disrespect you now. Like, no. And that's the thing is there's people out there that don't just label that sort of person that walks away as the fake fan, but when somebody calls out something that's not good enough, because again, they don't want to constantly be fed shit and be expected to enjoy it, because nobody enjoys eating shit. Nobody does. If you do, you're probably either hours away from death or in absolute dire need of seeing medical professional help. That's the reality of it. But it's it would be toxic to call the club out to want what's best for the club. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like there's a whole bunch of decisions that may end up happening over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, season, that ultimately decide Man United's fate, and it could be the fate that ends the club for good. It could be the fate that gives it a new lease of life. And I don't think quite enough United supporters have realised that. But they're too busy, going after each other and saying, nah, this person's a fake fan. Every fan base has got it, by the way. Every fan base has got it. Arsenal probably worse, more so than many, many others. And trust me, I know people that are serially hated, not because they've actually done anything wrong or done bad things, but because they speak their minds. When they see something that is not right, they'll say, guys, has anybody noticed that that's not right? Has anybody noticed that this is below standard? And everybody else goes, how dare you speak about standards here? How dare you? That's toxic. Sorry, but, didn't realise it was toxic to speak truth. It's like if I told you that on this calculator, if I type 1 + 1 and it says 2, and I show it to you, say, this calculator says, right, that the mathematical equation of 1 + 1 = 2 is fact, it's true. They'll sit there and say, but it doesn't suit my agenda. How dare you? You're toxic. That's kind of the breakdown. That's the breakdown of football fan relations in communities and how fans interact with each other, especially on the social media front. The amount of brain dead interaction that goes on and hyping things up that just do not deserve to see the light of day is crazy, absolutely mental. But 2024, guys, 2024, the second you don't accept something is the second you lose all credibility in the public eye. Ain't that a sad truth? Let's see what some other people are saying. So somebody has just come out talking about transfer targets. Funny thing is, this show was actually was going to be about transfer targets, but more or less changed it with seeing all the news coming out about managerial talk again, and seeing that yet again, the Southgate story is being given life. And not only that, at the same time, we go and watch Southgate embarrassingly lose to Iceland, so that's never fun. But supposedly, Man United have set aside £45 million for a centre back this summer. So, of course, three of the targets, Todibo, Inacio, and Yoro, are three of the key targets to the centre back positions. As for who I would go for, probably the easiest deal to do, and probably the best deal money wise would probably be the Todibo deal. He's probably the most experienced centre back out of all out of the three. I know that it's but it's it's an INEOS signing. It's it's coming from Nice, and they'll try to try to underhand the market valuation by paying below the odds in some secret negotiation transfer strategy tactic. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I think it would just be a straightforward. United want to buy Todibo. Todibo wants to move, and whilst there is negotiations there, both parties can act civilly without trying to stick about 100 million on top of the market valuation, and to try and price Man United out of signing a player. I mean, Nice, to get even. I mean, for example, right? I think with Yoro, you're probably looking at about 45 million for him, upwards into 50. I'd say Inacio probably, because it's Portuguese sides, they like to fleece clubs because they know that their players are usually in hot demand every summer. So I could probably see that being about 50-55 million quite easily. And I think he's got a I think it's him that's got a release clause as well, Inacio. But yeah, for me, Todibo, probably about the 40-45 million pound mark, probably the easiest deal to do. Financially, the most sensible deal to do. Plus, also, you're not betting on just outright youngsters, or doing the Chelsea model in signing literal kids, to be the hope, prayers, and dreams of your next season's achievements. So Todibo probably brings the best experience, financially the best option out of the three. If it was up to me, if I could decide, there would probably be two of those three that would end up at Man United. But again, there's no real talk about money. There's money's tight. Money's tight. There's not much really to offer. There's not much to like funds wise to release. You've got the midfield positions to cater to. You got your attacking positions to cater to, and then also perhaps a wide player to improve, or to actually finance or give reason to letting other players in those positions go. And Michael Elise would be one of those players that signing for the attacking positions, perhaps out wide, can come centrally as well. He's got a bit of that versatility about him. So I think it's one of those that, depends on what the strategy in doing market movements, I think that there is a big opportunity for INEOS to sell a promising project to these players. But in terms of actually getting the deals done, will be its own factor. I think that there is high possibility that guys like Michael Elise, who's again high demand, and for me personally, with Michael Elise, one thing that if you're in his shoes and you're going into this summer one thing you're not thinking about is taking the very first offer that gets put on the table. You're not interested in the first offer. The only time you would be interested in the first offer is when you know the last offer has been tabled, or the best valued offers have been tabled. So, I mean, Chelsea, of course, they'll be desperate to sign him. They tried signing him previously last summer. This summer, they'll desperately want the same thing. Wolfgang Division believes that there's not really much need to signing him. For me, I think it's, if anything, it's more incentive, for the lesser quality players in the same position that Elise were playing, to be sold. But do you trust your board to be smart enough to move your squad around like that? Because I mean, I know if out of two different link ups that I would prefer, choosing between, would you prefer Cole Palmer with Noddy Madueke on the right, or would you prefer Cole Palmer and Michael Elise? I'd take I'd take the latter of those two link ups in a heartbeat. Not saying Noddy Madueke is absolutely trash. There's more to be desired with the player, but he's okay. I'd say he's steady. He's just a steady player. You can upgrade that instantly in a heartbeat with Michael Elise. And Elise knows that. He knows that. He knows that there's a huge amount of players in his position at Chelsea. But I think he's the sort of player that would back himself to be, to get the opportunities ahead of them because of his quality, because of his level and experience in the Premier League. I think he could back himself, and he's probably, he's probably been told that as well, that, in terms of ability, you going to Chelsea, you would most likely start ahead of everybody else there because you are better quality. So there is that to keep in mind. But at the same time, there's that many other clubs that might waltz in and decide, actually, we would like to sign you. And then, who knows, Marco Elise may think, well, hold on a second, that sounds like a more promising project. We've seen guys like Fabrizio talking about, the Man United project appealing more to Elise than a Chelsea project if it was between the two clubs. But at the moment, you have to say, well, Chelsea are the favourites, given that they're the ones that are the most pushing, or the most pushed forward in negotiations for the player. So it just really becomes a case now of, when does Man United pull the trigger on that sort of a signing? Will Elise have the patience to actually say, I believe that Man United will come in for me? I do. I believe that Man United will come in for me. Because, listen, he's got a release clause. Every club before Man United could trigger that release clause, and Elise would still not move. And you'll probably get it to late in the window, late in the day, and then you'll say, well, everyone's triggered the release clause. I'm now going to open negotiations and go to that club. So it's literally, the ball is in Elise's court here. It's absolutely in his court. He can pick and choose. Now, if we believe what the tabloids have said and what journalists have said, that Man United is the more favoured project, maybe Elise holds out until the deal from United comes in and gets popped on the table, because it'll be just a simple case paying off the release clause and then sorting out the the wage structure, the personal details. So there is that to keep in mind. Now, another position that's quite important is the midfield section, the midfield areas of the pitch. Of course, I think the latest talk was regarding, I think it was João Neves from Benfica. who, and I saw a poll for this as well. People deciding who would you rather go for. I think it was Onana from Everton was featured on that list. You had João Neves, and then there was somebody else. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I think it's literally on. It was a YouTube. It was a YouTube poll. If I can find it in appropriate time. So, but yeah, with João Neves, the thing is I'd be cautious about doing or trying to do a deal, especially if we were talking with money being tight. If we have a situation where it being quite an important signing by all means, but do you do a deal with a club that will not, they might actually be a bit on the disrespectful side, Benfica. It's possible. A disrespect in being that, United will have genuine interest. The player may want to make that move, but Benfica decide, no, we have 120, give us 120 million and he's yours. No, thank you. See ya, bye. Now, being appropriate in this scenario for Benfica, they can still get some pretty damn good money for João Neves. But from United's perspective, it's a risk. It is a big risk. Not just risking on whether the player will come to the club and perform, because there is always the chance that it may not crack up, it may not work out. It can happen, it happens quite often. But the money side of it, when you're given the budgets are as strict as they are, I think you almost have to have fixed limits for each and every single position that you're signing for. And with those fixed limits, it dictates the market that Man United go shopping in. It's like if we talk about another striker, there's some people are saying, well, Benjamin Sesko, yeah, go get him. Well, actually, no, let's not go get him, because that's another Rasmus Højlund. And you also, not only that, but you're actually spending about the same amount of money, slightly less than what you spent on Rasmus Højlund for a player that's in the same point of his career. For me, no. Not for me with Benjamin Sesko. Whereas somebody like Ivan Toney, where the demand, the hype with Toney has gone down, the demand is gone away slightly. So actually now would be an ideal time to sign a Prem-proven striker with experience and get him for a cheaper price, because that's how it works with the market. If a selling club knows that player's a massive demand, hey, we can tag these fools along for days. We can tag these guys along, get them to bend their knee to our will. So, yeah, I mean, would Brentford stick stupid prices on Ivan Toney again? Probably not. But I think with what the quality that is available in an Ivan Toney would make him a very legitimate signing. It just depends on, again, how much you can, get the player for. So sign him for. Which, if the fee is, realistic and accurate for the type of player Toney is, or what he's actually valued at, then that's the sort of signing where you hit the green light. But João Neves, for a midfield signing, that's where we hit the big red light, because we know Benfica. We know they'll like to, squeeze money, squeeze money from the like Shrek making jelly from your eyes. Benfica will make money from your eyes. They'll make money from your eyes by getting journalism to spout out ridiculous asking prices, as you do. Getting more reaction on my timeline. Anti-Southgate. How toxic, guys. How toxic. Trust the process, guys. Unbelievable. Cannot believe you guys. But yeah, it's interesting indeed with the signings aspect. Of course, many of these stories will progress as time goes on. Many of these different links, we'll see new names that get linked to the club. Talks of throwing values around. I mean, I know that there's the people talking about official bids going in, but I don't necessarily think that there are official bids here. I think this is again just talk. It's just talk. I think that it would be a bit more discreet than previous years, where everybody knows exactly what's going on at all times. But I do feel like, at least with this, for me, with Manchester United, that this summer is going to be about the seeing the proof in the pudding. INEOS, what is their makeup? We've seen the stupid side of them for this summer. We're talking about the manager situation, and not just about Southgate, but just in all areas regarding the managerial situation. It's all stupid. So yeah, it's not looking too good in that department, but also it could work out in various other departments as well. It just depends. It just matters in how we go about actually doing the business. So I think we'll call it a day there with the fuzzy Friday night. So yeah, moral of the story: INEOS might just be already shooting themselves in the foot. Not so much pulling a plug, more so shooting themselves in the foot with the early days of INEOS indecision. Is this a sign of things to come, or is this just one of the decisions that they're really just not sure about? Do be sure to pop your thoughts and your feelings in the comment section down below. What you guys think about the situation with the manager, and also what your stance on INEOS is. Are you guys having faith in this project, or are you guys feeling like this is not cracking up to be anything like they were talking about in the build up to words turning into actions? And I think there's still a bit of time to brighten the mood a bit by not talking about Southgate for starters, but actually getting things happening at the club. Getting signings happening, getting players in the door, out the door. Just get things active. Activity is always a big thumbs up for me. So yeah, INEOS looking to sell these. I don't. Why now? Why not? You can say, well, we'll look to sell Nice once we've sorted out the summer at Manchester United. But hey, let's go sort out another club's problems when we're meant to be sorting out this one. So yeah. Okay, Richard Fay. That's enough of that. He's uttered the words that Southgate was a boyhood United fan. Fuck off. You are not a boyhood United fan. Be it Pain Like Bane, Adama, Pictures Productions, Probs, as in probablys, or probablys Southgates, or problems. There's probs at United. You'd probably be correct in both. But yeah, 100%. Big ups to you. Thank you for tuning in. It's right at the end, but thank you nonetheless. It's always a pleasure to have people stopping by. But yeah, Richard, take that story and stick it straight up your ass. But yes, that's it from me for tonight. Once again, thank you very much to those who've tuned in, stopped by, and left a couple of chats in the chat section there. It's always a pleasure to see all the regulars dropping by, and big ups to everybody that has liked the stream. If you're watching on playback, do be sure to also continue to hit the likes there, and also subscribe, because we are delving towards 200 subscribers, and hopefully that's a target we can achieve across the summer. I'm sure that I'm going to have some pending availability where I'll be able to commit to more content being released on the channel. Of course, with the summer transfer window, it helps because there's more content ideas, more topical discussions, and a lot more things going on in the day-to-day actions of Manchester United and many other clubs as well. So we can, there's limitless things we can talk about. So but that matters when we get through to those times. But anyways, big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for watching. And at the very least, tomorrow, that's it. The day after tomorrow, no work tomorrow. So I'll enjoy a nice line for Saturday. But also, about 4 o'clock tomorrow on Wolfgang Division, we'll be doing, I believe it's called Wolfie Whispers, which is Wolfgang Division's transfer. It's a transfer show that he'll be doing. And we'll be talking about all things transfers and various other topics perhaps as well. So that'll be 4 p.m. over in Wolfgang Division. Do be sure to jump over there and come join us on that. That should be interesting. Hopefully relatively exciting as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that, as well as my nice Saturday lie-in, because my God, the last 2 days have been rather stressful. So, you know, and it's not fun when you come home from a stressful day at work to find that Southgate's going to be being touted again as your next club manager. That's always going to make you feel extra zesty on the shite. So, yeah, but it is what it is. Life of a Man United fan. We seemingly signed up. Whether you call it karma or not, I don't know. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Wolfgang Division's channel, 4 p.m. Don't miss it. Don't miss it, guys.